Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to the Moments Podcast. I'm warning you guys in advance. I don't really know where my voice went, but it's kind of missing. So it's okay. It's okay. I have a lot of things I want to talk about, like a lot. Many of you guys probably know where I am. Some of you guys might be confused. So I think it's only fair that I give you like a little bit of a backstory and just kind of update you. I moved back out to Hawaii only for a couple months, so I don't really want to say moving. I'm back in Hawaii for a couple months, but I was only here for 4 days before I had to fly to California because I had a super, super cool work opportunity, brand deal. You guys will see all about that soon, but it's really, really exciting. And then I was only there for 2 days, so now I'm back in Hawaii, and this is my first time recording in my Hawaii car. Of course, I'm in a car. There's really no surprise there, but I do miss recording in the van. Something about that place is so special, but I am determined to make this car just as special. Also, the sun is shining through right now. It's like 8 a.m. The sun just came up. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really excited to share everything I'm about to share with you guys. Somehow, in this past week, first of all, I feel like I've been living in a movie. I've been living in La La Land. Like, I don't even know. My brain is just on a different planet. And I've had all these epiphanies about life without even trying to have them or trying to figure them out. And I think that that's the cool thing about everything I'm going to share. Sometimes we learn things when we're not trying to learn things, we're not planning on it. It just happens. And it's beautiful when it does. So I wanted to title this episode a couple different things, but what I think I'm going to go with is moments in finding simplicity. Moments in allowing life to just be simple. Because there's so many ways that we can do it, and we put so much pressure on ourselves to try to make life simple and to try to make life feel good, when the key is really to just do it. And I'm going to talk about how. But I also think that this is an important part of like my story and how this all happened. I had a really hard time coming back out here, or not so much coming back here, but the first time I came out here, I had a really hard time with my mental health. I did a whole episode on that, so if you do want to know more about that, it's a couple episodes back. But long story short, I had a really hard time with my mental health. I was a little bit worried to come back out just to see what it would be like going back to a place that brought me so much hurt and so much pain. And I don't really know that I had expectations, but if I did, they have been so exceeded. I feel really good. And I feel like everything I worked on before I came back out here really stuck with me when I got back out here. As far as taking time for myself, doing what I enjoy, having boundaries, knowing what I need to feel good, and just simply doing it. And it makes me really, really happy. That's the only way I know how to describe what I'm feeling right now, is just happiness. And it's cool because I think there's been other points in my life where I've been really happy. And I literally don't know how to explain it. I probably sound crazy right now, but this is just a whole different kind of feeling. It just flows and it feels very, very natural. And I think that the main realizations I've had in the past week are just that life can be simple. It doesn't have to be so heavy. And also, something that I want you guys to think about is that we often put these timelines on ourselves. It's like once we work really hard, we can enjoy this part of life. Or once we do this, then life will be good. Or once this happens, then I'll have a happy life. But what we fail to realize is that this is the whole life thing. I've talked to many, many older people throughout this lifetime, and I promise you that no one has it figured out. Doesn't matter if you're 10 years old or you're 90 years old, there's still things in life that just don't make sense. But life isn't supposed to make sense. Life is supposed to be enjoyable through every step of the way. Now, don't get me wrong. There's going to be days that suck. There's going to be things that suck. There's going to be things that we have to do because we can't all just ditz around in La La Land forever. But we can find enjoyment in everything. Most of us are young. We have so much life ahead of us. We shouldn't put all this stress and pressure to figure out how to have a perfect life. We're here, and this is now, and this is the only life that we get. And I know I sound like I'm being dramatic or I'm being really extra about this, but this is your life. This is your one chance to create something amazing, to be amazing, to feel amazing, to do fun stuff, to enjoy every moment. And don't get me wrong, I think the reason I feel so passionately about sharing this is because I've been in a place where I couldn't do that. I've been in a place where my mind was so focused around what I wasn't doing enough of, what I was failing at, who I was letting down, what I had to accomplish to get to a point where I could feel good. Or having a mindset of constant stress and constantly focusing on what I was lacking. It's a mindset that a lot of us struggle with, and sometimes we're just unaware that that's what the problem is. When I post about this on TikTok, where I'd post something really simple and lighthearted, just saying, make life feel simple. It's in the little things. I'll get comments about like, oh, well, that's just because you have money. That's just because you have this. That's just because you have that. And while I appreciate and I feel so blessed for everything that I do have, that's not what changes this mindset. That is not what makes life feel good. When you constantly compare your life to other people's life, I've done it, I've been there, you always focus on what you lack. Having a mindset like that is never going to make you feel satisfied. We're always going to be looking for what we don't have and what we want and what someone else gets to have. When it really starts within, and what you need to be doing is focusing on the things that you do have. You have a toilet to go to the bathroom on, that's a blessing. You have food to eat, that's a blessing. You have a school to go to, an education that you can get, it's a blessing. Count your blessings, write them down, be grateful for every little thing. Let me give you a really basic real life example right now. So I'm sitting in my car and I'm looking at my windshield, and my windshield is super, super dirty and I have no more wiper fluid. So I could sit here and focus on, oh crap, like I can't see anything. My windshield is dirty, and be pissed off about it. Or I could choose to focus on the way that the light is like reflecting off of these little water droplet marks and creating these little sunshine circles on the dashboard. I'm going to choose to focus on that. Be a delusional optimist. Be the one who's happy all the time for no reason. You see a leaf falling off of a tree. Say, wow, look at that leaf. You guys, it changes everything. And I'm telling you these things from a place of personal experience. I've learned this through going through the really, really shitty, excuse my language, mindset. I promise you, I wasn't always just sunshine and rainbows and happiness and da-da-da-da-da. Life can be beautiful all the time. I've been in a dark place mentally, and not all that long ago either. So I just want you to trust me. There's a lot of power in gratitude. And that is what is going to make life feel simple. I actually, last week, I posted a TikTok, just like what all my other TikToks are like, and it got taken down for dangerous acts because my head was like out the window of a car. And I got banned for a whole week on TikTok. And it crushed me at first because obviously I love posting on TikTok and it's part of my everyday routine. But in that week, I didn't open TikTok one time. And I learned to appreciate the fact that I couldn't post. I was so much more in tune with the moment that I was living in. And that's not to say that making TikToks takes away from that usually. But when it's not even an option, it was a really cool experience. And I learned to find the good thing that happened in that bad thing. It's simple things like that. I promise you. And on another level too, when we constantly put out to the universe or we put out to God that we are lacking and we don't have enough, we're not going to be given more. When you look at the world with bright eyes and an open mind and you're aware of what you have, you attract more to you. These are proven things. And I won't go into detail because I don't want to get into like religion or spirituality, but you attract things to you when you keep an open mind and you do show appreciation and gratitude and you live with just this bright shining aura. I really want this week for you to focus on your aura, for you to focus on the energy that you're putting out into the world. Are you putting out negative energy or are you putting out positive energy? Are you thinking bad thoughts about other people? Are you looking at people's flaws and imperfections? Or are you looking for the beauty in everyone? Oftentimes, we take our own insecurities, our own hurt, and we project them onto other people. Sometimes it's just through our thoughts, and sometimes we publicly just gossip and talk about people negatively. And obviously, that's a bad thing. We all know that. But in a lot of cases, it doesn't come from a place of bad intention. It comes from a place of hurting on your own and not knowing how to cope with what you're feeling. So you just talk about other people because you're scared to feel your own emotions and to heal yourself. And I don't know if that's something that resonates with anyone, but it is something that I wanted to share. And I honestly don't know when I had all these epiphanies or what exact moments brought them to me. But something happened where I am just like riding on a different wave than I've ever been on before. I've found this, I don't even want to say confidence within myself, but more so I'd say comfort in who I am. I think for a while, not that I was trying to change who I was, but I was trying to figure out who I was. And something happened and now I just feel as though I have it figured out. Obviously, I'm still learning, I'm still evolving, I'm still growing. But I'm happy with who I am, and I'm not looking for more ways to love myself. But instead of me just constantly talking about what's happened for me, I kind of want to share with you guys things that I think made this all happen. Like things I've been doing for myself that helped me have these epiphanies. I want you all to start reading. I'm telling you, I was the biggest hater of reading. Even in high school, when we had to read books for school, I would use SparkNotes or I would cheat on the quizzes and I would skim through the book. I would fake annotate it. Guys, I hadn't really read a book since middle school. And then I read one book. And it really just opened my eyes to how much you can not even learn from books, but how much you can escape your own negative thoughts and just be in a whole different world. Literally. Reading a good fiction book just cuts you out of every struggle that you're having and every worry that you're having because you're just living in this world of the book. And I believe it's important for us to escape our own mind sometimes because it gets really, really overwhelming up there. You guys know that. Our brains are go, go, go. Totally nonstop, all the time. So take a break, read a book, get yourself into it. Whether it's right when you wake up or whether it's when you go to bed or at some point in the middle of the day, just even start with 10 minutes for yourself. I promise you'll get into reading, even if you think you're someone that hates reading. I was there, I'm telling you. The first book that I read was The Midnight Library, and I've shared that one with you guys before, but in case you forgot, it is the book that got me on the whole reading wave, and I recommend it more than anything in the world. It gives you just this whole new appreciation for life. And another one that I recommend is The 5 People You Meet in Heaven by Mitch Albom, and then after you read that one, you have to read The Next Person You Meet in Heaven. Guys, those two books messed with my brain because I read the first one when I was really, really in like a really depressive state last time I was in Hawaii. And I thought it was a good book. I really enjoyed it, but it wasn't a book that I was like, oh my God, everyone, you have to go read this. And then I was home right before I came here again, and I saw the sequel to it in Barnes & Noble. I was like, oh my gosh, I should read it. So I bought the book, I read it, And by the time I closed the book, I was in like full body chills, goosebumps everywhere, crying, because everything about the first book just clicked with the second one, and it's like I read them both at the perfect time. Everything just clicked, and I gained such an understanding that I was supposed to go through what I went through to be able to be here now. And that's the beauty of books. I wasn't even reading a self-help book, yet it was exactly what I needed to work on my healing and to understand my journey and to understand the process, really. And that's why I think you should read. And there also are so many good self-help books out there. I have a hard time reading self-help books because they're not as interesting, and I get really, really distracted. But I do my best, and I'm still learning, and I'm still trying, because I do like to learn things. So anyways, I do want you to read The 4 Agreements. That's my favorite self-help book. It's a very simple, easy read that kind of opens your eyes, and you're like, damn, what? How did I not already execute or apply that into my life? And then you do, and it's a game changer. I also want you guys to start meditating. Now, I'm not saying go sit down for 50 minutes listening to some really zen music and don't move. For me, that's not realistic. I can't really meditate like that, and I don't want to say I can't, but I'll say I don't. I have a very squirrel brain. I can't really sit still. My ADHD can be really, really bad at times. I don't take anything for it. I don't want to. I can still get by without it. And I don't even take Advil if I'm like hungover. I don't really like medicine. That has nothing to do with what I was talking about. But moral of the story is that meditation can be anything. When I think of the word meditation, I think of escaping my thoughts. So meditating for me can just be turning my phone off for literally 5 minutes and just taking a few deep breaths and breathing in what I need and releasing what I don't. Oh, and not to get off topic again, but speaking of meditation, I filmed a 20-minute yoga flow on my camera, and I'm going to post it on YouTube because I know that a couple people have asked me to teach yoga or do more with yoga online, and I want to. I just haven't really known how to get back into it because, not that I lost touch with yoga, but I haven't taught yoga in a while, and especially not so publicly. But I'm ready to bring it back. I think I'm entering a new era of Yoga Lexi making her comeback. So expect that video maybe this week, probably this week. But I'm sure you'll be able to find the link on my Instagram stories or TikTok. You guys know the drill. Now, I'm giving you all these ideas or these tips or things that you can try doing. And I don't want you to feel discouraged if you do one of the things that I'm explaining to you or advising you to do and it doesn't work. We all are on such different journeys and such different paths, and we're all healing at a different rate, and we're all different people made of different DNA. Obviously, the same things aren't going to work for everyone. You might try reading a book and still hate reading, and that's okay. I might try something that you like and still not like it. It would be really boring if we were all the exact same freaking creature. But I will say try it. I will say try to do the things on this list if you haven't done them. Trying new things is the most powerful thing that we can do. Maybe not the most powerful thing that we can do, but it is really important to try new things. You never know when you'll find a new passion or something that you love or something that changes the course of your mindset or your whole life. I didn't necessarily know if I'd like making TikToks, and look where that brought me. Butterfly effect, domino effect, whatever you want to call it. Now I have a podcast sharing things I've learned and life. And that's always been a dream of mine. You never know how the dots are going to connect. Life works in like a really mysterious loop, crazy way. So just trust it. Be patient with it. Anyways, the next thing I wrote down is to go for walks. I was not a walk lover. I did not like going for walks. Don't know why. I guess I just got anxious or bored while I was walking. But now I use walks to call the people I love. Like I'll call my best friend, I'll call my mom. Because something I did a lot last time I was in Hawaii was isolate myself. And if you listen to the other episode, you guys know all about that. But I didn't talk to the people I loved because I didn't really want to accept that I was hurting, and I didn't want them to know that I was hurting. So now I use my walks to actually keep them updated and talk to them about my life and discover that they are the ones who kind of help me through my struggles. So isolating them only makes me feel worse. And I'm not saying when you go on walks you have to call people, but it is good to go on walks and to reflect and to think and just see where you're at. Oh my gosh, there was just a bee outside of the car and I thought it was in the car, and that would have been a huge problem. Okay, next one. Working out or sweating. The way I view sweating is physically releasing my body of toxins and bad energy. Something about a sweat drop dripping down my face is just like getting rid of every single problem that I've ever felt. And I'm not one of those people who really enjoy the actual working out part. It's more the feeling afterwards, because it's very rewarding. And it's good to move your body, obviously. And it's good to rid yourself of stuff inside you that you just don't need. And I also want you guys to find the joy in the really, really little things in life. Like being able to take a long shower, or to use your favorite soap, or to brush your hair with your favorite leave-in conditioner, to smell your hair after it's just been cleaned, to look at yourself in the mirror right when you finish your makeup and be like, dang, that looks really good, to put on your favorite dress, to twirl around your room, put on your favorite song and have a freaking dance party. Nobody's watching you. When you're alone, nobody is watching you. Let yourself be loose. Let yourself be free. I'm telling you, it makes a world of a difference. If you're anything like me, take pictures of everything. Who cares what people say? I get roasted for taking pictures all the time, pretty much every day. But I love to do it, and I love looking back on the memories. And when I take pictures, it doesn't take away from the moment for me. So I do it. Post that TikTok. If you've been wanting to post on TikTok, post the TikTok. Literally, who cares if people from high school are going to see it? It doesn't matter. Everyone is so focused on themselves that they do not care what you're doing at all. That's one thing that the 4 Agreements taught me, is not to take anything personally, because nothing is about you, really. Every way that people act and reflect is just based on themselves. And once you fully process that, you really just stop giving a crap of what anyone has to say about you. And obviously it's easier said than done. I can't act like I don't stress about what people think about me. I still do, often. But I'm learning, and I'm aware. And I think that being aware is really the first step. I want you guys to try yoga. As soon as my video comes out, you can start with that. Or there's really, really simple beginner flows on YouTube. Just look up beginner yoga. Or there's a yoga teacher, Brooke Diaz, and she has a class online. She's one of my favorite in-person teachers. And during quarantine, she made this yoga flow YouTube video. And it is really, really, really good. So you guys could try that one. But just give it a shot. You don't have to like it. You might not like it. But it's worth trying. Because yoga is single-handedly the one thing that changed my life and changed my mindset back when I was 13. So I truly do swear by it. I don't want you to be afraid to enjoy life. I talked about this in the beginning. But you're here now. You're here to be alive now. You're made to be enjoying life. And again, I know that there are things in life that are going to feel heavy. We have responsibilities. And when I say, oh, live a simple life, be happy, smile at everything, enjoy everything. Guys, I still know that life is real. I have responsibilities. I have things that need to get done. I have a lot of things that I'm stressed about. But I mean this on a different level. I mean this on a way that there are just more things that we can appreciate. There always is. And when you do that, when you focus on the little things to appreciate, the really, really big stresses and responsibilities slowly get a little bit smaller in your mind. When you really live in the moment and take life one day at a time, you understand that everything happening to you is supposed to be happening. And I sound like a broken record. I know that I do. But it's just a feeling that I want everyone to experience. So I'll keep going. I will keep going because you deserve to feel a simple life, a happy life, a joyful life. Even if things around you feel like they're crumbling at times, to just be aware that you're on the wave and that you might be getting held under right now, but you're going to catch the wave, you're going to ride the wave, and you're going to see where it takes you. And I think a really, really important thing to do in this is to be able to close the chapters of your past. For a while, I thought I had done that. I really thought I closed the chapters and I had let go of grudges and I had let go of hurt. But I guess that I hadn't, because I can feel the difference now. When it actually happens, you'll know. Closing chapters of hurt from the past is what's really going to allow you to be present and to live in the moment. We can't change the past. There's no possible way. But we do have control of the future and we have control of now. So allow yourself to understand that people change, that things get better, that the past is done with. It's over. Hold on to the memories, but not the grudges. And just allow yourself to be present. And also just work on loving yourself and accepting yourself just the way that you are, without trying to change things. If we're always trying to change things and we're always looking at people online and noticing what they have and we don't, we're never going to feel satisfied. And I said that in the beginning in a different version, but we can't constantly look for what we don't have. What does that give us? What do we gain from that? If you can tell me something you gain from always looking at what you don't have, please let me know. Because in my eyes, I don't think it exists. I think that we can't do that. End of story. That is something that we need to let go of. Obviously, easier said than done. I know what it's like to be on social media. I know what it's like to go on the internet. But I need you to take time off of it. Because a lot of times I'll get comments on my TikToks, especially if I'm saying, go for a walk, go do something you enjoy. People will comment, well, I don't have time because of this, this, and that. Well, you're on TikTok. You're on your phone. You're online right now. We have time where we make time. There's always time if you prioritize something. Whether it's for 1 minute or whether it's for 3 hours, there's time. Put your phone down. Go reflect with yourself. Be there for yourself. Bond with yourself. Dance around and talk to yourself. Who cares? Learning to love yourself is a huge, huge, huge factor in all of this. Oh my gosh. Guys, there's a bird and it just landed on this tree, literally right in front of me. And he's just not like I wish you could see this. He's like shaking his head. Wow, that was awesome. Sorry, I got a little bit distracted. Moving on. Enjoy yourself. Spend time with yourself alone and learn to be your own best friend. It's very, very, very important. And it's very powerful too. And the last thing I want to tell you guys, I want to keep this episode kind of short, is to let yourself be a freaking kid. Let your inner child live. Let it explode through you. We have the power to be young forever. Have you guys ever met like an older person who just lives like they're 18 years old? Do that. Let your inner child be a kid. Being a kid is when life is the most simple. It's the happiest. Everything around you is just good and easy. Tune into that, okay? Now, do what you want with this episode. Feel how you want about it. But I promise you, you're capable of living a life of simplicity and finding contentment and finding happiness. And it just starts with your mind. it starts within you. I'm telling you. I believe in you. Go do something for yourself today. Also, I'm thinking about the list I said of things that I want you to try. I forgot to say journaling. And journaling has been something that seriously, seriously helps me. But don't just journal when you're sad or just when you're happy. Do both. Do both, because it's very cool to reflect on different things. And I have a journal highlight on my Instagram story, and I have a couple really cool prompts on there that you could do if you want. I want to post more, but I will post more. But for now, if you want, go check out the ones that are on there and just try it out. Even if you don't even know what you're writing, even if you feel like it makes no sense, it doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. It's your journal. No one else is reading it. Write however you want. You could write in your journal like it's an elaborate essay that you have to turn in for like a research paper, or you can write in your journal like you're a 3-year-old and you just write sentences that don't make sense. It's up to you. It's your life. Remember that. Okay. I love you guys. I'm going to go, but we'll talk soon. I'm really happy to be back. And I do have some other really, really cool guests that are coming on the podcast. I know you guys are looking forward to it. I'm going to order a second mic too, so I can do an episode with Hannah and Meredith. And if you guys have any ideas for what you want us to talk about, let me know. We're so down to do it. And also, if you haven't already, go rate the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, because it really does mean the world to me. And I appreciate you guys more than you'll ever, ever, ever know. And I'm excited to keep this rolling. I'll talk to you soon. I love you. Bye.